this Monkley with the dive.
What a beautiful charge dash from Meldon to save him. That's faster.
Is that faster?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, this time.
Meldon got it.
Oh, this is what a save!
Oh, big flat.
Oh my god!
Actually, I think we're having some bit of audio issues, but Spirit is here, so just to let you guys know. Today's match, first match of the day, I guess if you actually count the one at 4 a.m., so this is actually the second match of the day. This is between Fluffy and Grim. Spirit, tell us about these racers.
Hello again, Cleanfell. Sorry for that little technical issue there. Yeah, these races, as we can see, our two runners that we are going to see here running tonight are pretty close in their placing. We have place 30 versus place 35. Will first of all have to win in this race.
Yeah, definitely. Even though it'll be a hard matchup, whoever wins here, it's always better to be in the upper bracket because you have that less worry about being eliminated right off the bat. So I think both racers should go for the win, despite that that beast of Elogimini is looming right ahead of them. Whoever loses this round will head down, I believe, to face whoever wins between Cutieroo and Mills Mess.
Yeah, that lower bracket, the way we have our tournament set up here is the double elimination. So whoever loses this race is not out of the tournament yet. Or I just realized that that's wrong also because this is a preliminary round. So who loses here is out of the match, right?
Yeah. I believe they still have a chance. I'm not too sure, man. This bracket's confusing, but I still believe that these racers will, because the winner, it was half of the Cutieroo Mills Mess race that is yet to be undecided, and I think that's where they're gonna go.
Yeah, I just now see loser 2 is actually in the lower bracket. So as I've been trying to explain, who loses here is not out of the race yet. They still have a chance to win in the lower bracket and make it to the win-back round, which then will get them in the finals. So it's not over yet, but of course you want to stay in the upper bracket.
Definitely. So tell us about the racers themselves.
I'll quickly introduce Grimelios here. He is a controller runner. The interesting thing about Grimelios is that he is doing all of his different inputs manually. Many people will use rebinds for tricks like charge dashing or something. Grimelios doesn't do that. He only uses a rebind to toggle his UI. So that's the only bind he will use.
That's right. That's pretty crazy. And Fluffy's a hybrid, has controller KBM. I'm not sure when he switches over, but we'll probably see it in the way he paces his shots, whether or not he's using controller or keyboard at that moment, because there's like two destined ways to place your shots there. As far as PBs and best race times and all that time stuff goes, it's really, really close. Grim actually set best race time and his PB actually in a race, so he's a race friendly guy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, both of their best and average race times were pretty close, and so even though their PBs were like a minute apart, the performance in these races so far have been pretty similar. So we might be in for a pretty close race here. And also, it looks like we're starting off pretty soon here. There we go.
Definitely.
First big trick is prologue skip.
Yeah, you gotta skip that prologue. Looks like both racers get it off very nicely. 100% prologue skip rate, I guess. It's a very good job, and they are off. Now, what you said, Sparrow, earlier is Glades is sometimes a little hard to commentate because, again, it's not too fast yet. All we got to optimize their movement is just jumping and hopping, and that's for about the first 7.5 minutes of the race before they get dash, that's where the run really starts to pick up. So for now, it'll just kind of be a chill kind of race, no real big disparities in the racers, even with like some bad movement, but the leads in this part of the race are kind of minuscule.
Yeah, Glades is an area where you get these micro optimizations to basically save 1 second here and 1 second there, so it's not going to be too much of a difference. That being said, though, you can take some pretty huge deaths in Glades because you cannot save very much. We don't have much energy to save yet, so there's always a good potential of upset in Glades.
Yeah, that's right. Grim looked like he, of course, being a controller, it's hard to mash your shot, so he's going for a pacing technique. As Fluffy looked like to be some mashing, so that maybe when he switches, that may be one of the instances where he's not on a controller, he's actually on a keyboard. So we'll see. Ooh, Grim actually takes a hit jumping up the flower pad, but he's alright so for now, on 2 health.
I think both of them are actually on 2 health because Fluffy took the damage boost in the lower bramble there.
Okay.
But should be okay here. 2 health is what we want to be here right now.
That's right. Ooh, Grim is actually going to pick up a health cell, so sadly won't get that optimal 1 HP Ghost Door. Fluffy actually opts to not even kill that one slime above him, so that's pretty interesting XP route there from Fluffy, but he looks good so far.
Yeah, both of them got their Ghost Door. I think both of them were on 2 health, so no major difference there. Picking up the 4th health here, always a reasonable decision. And yeah, they're into this gauntlet now, picking up some more health, trying to get a timed level up here pretty soon.
Yeah, they're both going to be flashing on their UI here just to see how far they are. Far away they are. Grim's a little closer to leveling up, and Fluffy's not. Fluffy's still got a little bit to go because, again, he didn't kill that one slime. But yeah, the optimal level up here is, as you're heading down to the wall jump area, is a weird zigzag kind of room layout. And Fluffy's actually going to level up on the way back up, as Grim's going to level up on the way down.
That level up we do to get rid of all these nasty enemies and brambles, which just makes our way back up a little bit faster. That's one of these micro optimizations that you can do or should do in Glades to be fast.
That's right. So now they got wall jump, which allows the traversing of walls, and again, not too much of a big skill just yet, but it allows us to get out of here and go through our next area, which our race will be heading to shortly, which is the Blackroot Burrows.
Yeah, Blackroot Burrows. Fortunately, we are not there yet. First, we have to go through a Trojan Lock here. There we go. Both of them managing to get Trojan Lock nicely.
Nice.
That's another jump that you can't see it when you're just watching, but it's somewhat of a micro ledge there. Can be a pretty finicky jump.
Yeah, you definitely have some weird finicky walls in Ori in attempts to make it super realistic. These walls are not like straight. They're not. they're a little rigid, which I guess makes sense, and it makes it a lot more interesting.
Sure does. Okay, so next thing we're going to see here is the infamous save anywhere. If you watch Fluffy's screen, he's going to get on his ability menu, he's going to quit out of it so he can actually move in the background, and this is going to allow him to level an ability, saving the game, and thus skipping this cutscene here, which would take a pretty long time.
Yeah, definitely. We're not a fan of cutscenes in our race, so let's get him out of here with some very nice tricks, and there you go. Both are now into Black Grimelios. Grim actually levels up Rekindle. That is intentional. He just finds it easier to level up Rekindle at this part. But I believe he levels up Magnet later in the run.
Yeah, we'll definitely need Magnet, but taking Rekindle here, as you saw, Grimelios was able to take this safety save here, and I bet he's going to Rekindle it, because he has the ability. And this gives you a lot of safety through Black Root Burrows, because this area we've already seen in a lot of matches in the bracket stage actually, that it can be pretty tough, and it can set you back all the way to the start where we did the save anywhere, and that's not something you want to have happen in a race.
Yeah, that's right. Both runners are soon getting dash, and without dash, taking a death here is big, because it's just takes so long to get back to that area where you died. With dash, it makes it a lot easier and a lot less time consuming, so it doesn't hurt as much. But soon our runners will be there, and so far making good time. Oof, he has to dodge some shots there. He's good.
Yeah, we have to try and manipulate the platform cycles here to optimize this time here. It's just this little auto-scrolly area here. And they are actually pretty synced. Both of them managed to get their cycles so far. So the only difference in time we're seeing here is the difference we already had at the start. And it's still a very close race. Anything can happen at this point.
Grim's having a really interesting XP, because he killed that one slime and the XP went far to the left to where he couldn't get it. So I'm actually wondering how much XP he is from leveling, because it's got to be a certain amount, except this is next trick called the Frankie Walk. So I'm wondering how much away he is actually, when we shall see as he does this level up. Yeah, he's 25. He's got to kill another slime, or get some or get an XP orb on the way out to be able to perform Frankie Walk.
Yeah, there's always this 15 XP when you come out of Glades that you could take. So he might opt to take that.
Yeah, probably.
Actually see his worst dash time here. So good job, Grim. 30 seconds better than his worst dash time.
Now both runners here had a very nice dash time, and so far,
yeah,
no mistakes by either. And Nether out, a Black Bros, and again, there they go to do the Frankie Walk. Let's see what Grim opts to do. I assume he's going to go get that XP orb, which is up top.
Yeah, otherwise he would be low on XP.
Yeah, there we go. It's very nice. And now both runners are on to carry this Frankie for a nice jog before we kill him and get through the 4 energy door.
Yeah, the game for some reason thinks it can stop us here by just putting spikes there, but spikes don't stop us. We damage boost over them. Spikes don't stop Frankies either, because they're invincible to spikes, obviously. So we can just walk them over here to the 4 energy door, which also doesn't stop us. And yeah, sequence break is done.
We cannot be stopped as an Ori racer, and Fluffy gets through the very scary Death Gauntlet. Grim opts for a Frankie dunk kind of method to kill both enemies here, kind of in a quick succession. So he's through, and very nice. And he's going to get the energy and hopefully make a save, so we do not have to go back to that dash tree. That dash tree is long in the past now.
Yeah, we've reached a point where we can actually take some safety saves here, so the death we're taking in the future are not too costly. Though, of course, death and Ori are always what's costing the most.
Fluffy did not get the Ryo Cycle, so he goes for Grim. Oh, that was so
pretty close.
And that was definitely a close one. It's definitely pixel perfect there on getting that Cryo Cycle, but it looks like it did not hurt Grim because Fluffy did not get Grotto Cycle either, so in the end, there was no net gain from that.
Still pretty close, as long as they don't mess up their movement to wall jump here, which Fluffy got decently. Should be good. Grim is also down there. Fluffy is going for his blind movement here, so we're not going to see what he's doing. If he does this perfectly, he should be on the wall by now. And he is. Pretty nice blind movement.
Yeah, and Grim is also opting for that blind movement. A little bit slower on the UI menuing, but it looks good. No damage was taken, so yeah, he is up the wall too. Very nice.
Managing to keep up pretty well here. This is a pretty good time by Fluffy. Like the energy pickup at 10 minutes, pretty solid. Also, first try Grotto skill, very nice.
That was a very nice job here, and both runners having some pretty good success rate. And Grim is going to pick up that XP, which actually, because he picked up that 1 XP, he does not get the animation for it, and he gets a third try Grotto skip. So that was pretty nicely done. But Fluffy is going to have a little bit of a lead now because of getting that first try.
Yeah, though Fluffy has a little bit of trouble on these very slippery, sloppery walls here. So this race is to this point it's still very close. Like, we have been memeing a bit about how we always say that, but this race again, pretty close.
Yeah, definitely. Need to stop saying that. But
I'm telling now, I'm not cursing anyone today.
no, that's good. You know, let's make some objective statements about the run, not try to imply anything here. I mean,
Exactly.
so far, we're good. And so now they're, again, those small optimizations in the wall movement to go up to the vertical Ginzo tree, which, yeah, they're on a really good pace, both runners so far.
They sure are.
So Fluffy now is climbing up here to get one more ability cell. We need these ability cells so we can continue to skip some cutscenes. If cutscenes weren't in this game, we'd pretty much like never need to level up any skills. We'd probably level up the basic ones like Rekindle and Magnet, but apart from that, not really necessary. But for this run, where there are cutscenes, they are necessary.
Yeah, we're skipping all the cutscenes. We don't want to watch any of these cutscenes. Because they take too much time, and you're just sitting there and wondering why you were wasting so much time in a speedrun. So yeah, another cutscene skip by Fluffy. As he is entering Ginzo now. Grimelios only like 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, it's super close race so far.
Really close. Though Ginzo, of course, the jumps here again pretty hard. I think it's always astonishing when you come from a casual point of view to see how quickly the speedrunners make their way through Ginzo.
That's definitely the first big point in a casual playthrough. It's like, all right, you got your double jump, now use it, and or use it to its fullest extent here. I mean, there's no double jump as not needed in this run. Ooh, Grim, a little close, but he's able to get up on that platform there, and he's good so far. And Fluffy teleporting like a maniac, and they're both on their way to the longest fighting sequence in the run, which is this mini boss here coming up.
First of all, we have to watch this little puzzle here. It's not too hard, but I'd also like to point out, because we see both of them in the same room here, they're still so close, and neither of them really messed up any movement so far, or took any death actually. So
yeah, that's right.
Depending on how quickly they get this mini boss, we might actually be in for an even closer race.
Yeah,
we messed up a little bit there, so
bit of RNG to this boss that can spawn randomly in one of 5 locations, so it's always optimal to like not get the ones where it's in the bottom right and left corner. You always want to get the ones near the middle. Fluffy is done with their mini boss, very nice, and Grim is getting done. Let's see if we can kill in this cycle. Yes, very nice. So that was an 8 cycle for Fluffy, which is not bad at all. Though we can optimize it, just that little RNG to make it a little better.
Yeah, we can, but of course the getting a good cycle on this boss is a little harder on controller because we don't have that mashing. And Fluffy
right.
is picking up bash now at a 1450, very solid. Grimelios directly on his toes with a 50-minute bash pickup.
And with that stat, you see, he did actually PB during one of his group stage matches, so he's actually at this point in the race, he's about 20 seconds ahead of his PB, so Grim is on fire right now.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. Let's hope he can keep it up.
Definitely. So now, using our new ability of Bash to manipulate some projectiles, some enemies, whatnot, immediately putting the very fun skill to use, as both runners are now going to do a fun little key duping trick, which is a bit of an annoying one because it's kind of weird how it works. There you go. Fluffy died right in the vicinity, and key dupe was successful.
Grim also got his key dupe, very nice.
Both runners having some quite nice performances there. Both getting key dupe first try, which some even better veteran runners can have sometimes a problem with. And there you go. So now Fluffy's into the second mini boss of Genzo.
That mini boss is a little easier to get the 4 cycle on, I'd argue, because yeah, that's the 4 cycle. It's not really much we can optimize there. Like we can double jump a little bit closer to it so the projectile doesn't travel too far, but yeah, not much to optimize there.
Yeah, but with the race like this, where it's so close, at this point you're actually analyzing those really small movements, like, oh, how is this wall jump for Fluffy, and how is this wall jump for Grim? Because the runners are just on a roll. Ooh, Fluffy, he dashed too quickly. He had to go back and get that XP, but he's fine now. And there you go, both runners leveling up to get into a really weird trick called the swamp entry with our good frog friend.
Yeah, Grimelios is opting to skip the cutscene here, which Fluffy didn't, so Fluffy has to deal with some lasers on the way back out. Let's hope he remembers that. Also skips the frog there, just to make the safety save back here. Now he's on his front entry.
Definitely a weirder save from we've seen. And there you go, Grim opts to reload because I believe he killed the frog, but at least he didn't make it before the save, so he's on it. And wow, both runners are tied here going into the swamp entry.
Yeah, they are. Grim is doing the controller approach while Fluffy was doing some double bashes here. So since some of his shots actually missed, they are pretty close by now because Grim got a pretty decent swamp entry there doing the controller method.
Yeah, double bashing can be a little finicky, but they're both through, and man, it's just so close, man. I just don't know what to say right now. But there you go, they're both off to get stomped now.
Yeah, I'm basically glued to the screen right now, so I mean, how far apart are they? Like 5 seconds or something? And we're at Storm. I mean, it's half of the run is basically done now.
That's right, and we've seen nothing but a close race, and Grim is on fire again. He's about 30 seconds now ahead of his PB.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Fluffy's doing compared to his PB, but he's doing great for himself too.
That was a pretty decent Storm, definitely. And now we're on our way back out. Going to take this frog here again to bash up to another ability cell. Yeah, Fluffy gets it. Can be a little tricky again. There we go, Grim also getting it. Fluffy did think about the lasers, so didn't take a death here. That's nice, and now he's up for Kuro cutscene skip. This could be a potential lead change.
That's true, definitely. Ooh, Fluffy gets it, very nice. So
very nice.
Let's see if Grim can pull this off. There's a weird placement there. And he gets it too! Oh my gosh.
Wow, this, again, we didn't see anything there, but that's just what we want. Normally there would have been a cutscene that took like 17 seconds away from you, and by just bashing this projectile at a specific angle, we can't skip this cutscene. And since neither of them got the cutscene, they're still so close.
Definitely. I believe since Terra's restreaming this, he's doing a little he's kind of playing with Grim a bit. He said he had a PB chance of 0, even though he's about 30 seconds ahead of it. Terra, what you doing?
Well,
Terra
is never memeing, I'd argue.
Yeah,
So
okay.
this must be accurate.
Okay, it is accurate then. Even though Grim's now 40 seconds ahead of his PB, he has no chance. Thanks, Terra.
Yeah, that's an insight you don't get every day.
So now both racers are pretty much done. This is what we call the transition from the left side of the right side of the run to the left side, as we're going to be dealing with a lot of birds and a lot of just kind of, again, even more tricky tricks. Tricky tricks.
Yeah.
That's right. So you could definitely still see a lead change with these tricks, depending on how both runners perform with them as we go here. And the spikes are way more deadly now, because they will, at this point in the run, they'll pretty much do either 3 or 4 damage. And with Ori's health, yeah, that's pretty deadly.
It sure is. And since everything is basically killing us pretty fast now, and since we're having a lot more movement option, this, we could call it mid to late game, is way more fun in a speedrun. And yeah, but also there's of course way more room for error because we have so much more abilities now.
That's right.
Speaking
Both
of
winners.
room for error, here's Fast Stompless by Fluffy.
Ooh, yeah. So he's gonna use manipulate a
100%
shot.
success rate.
Let's see
And
how
that
it
shot
goes.
looked good, and he's up there, so he doesn't get it, of course.
Oh no! That's
Right as
not.
I say, that shot looks good. I have no idea
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, Grim is opting to do the shot again. I think if he can still pull out this fast Stompless, I think he may
If he
actually.
gets it, he should be in the lead, but oh,
He's questioning these shots. He's like, I don't like these. Let's see, here goes third try. I think he likes that one. No, he doesn't.
he doesn't. It looked good. I like that one.
Man, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
now
he likes this one.
Oh,
And-
will he get up? He gets it nice. And
No!
no!
Doesn't get it. Oh no!
He was too slow, didn't get the cell. He has to take a backup cell here because he really doesn't want to watch the cutscene that's coming up pretty shortly. Like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Sad
so
cellless.
they're both really close at Feather, but Grim is actually going to have to go back and pick up an ability cell or just do a different type of strategy here to approach, because he definitely have some really interesting cutscenes. He's looking at his XP. He's like, yeah, I need another level, so he's actually still going up to Sorrow Bash. So I'm not too sure what he's opting to do here.
First try Sorrow Bash by Fluffy. Easy trick.
Very nicely done.
Grim's also going for the 2-bird method here, something you will see many controller runners do, and looks good, pretty nice. First try Sorrow Bash again. Yeah, when we're talking about how hard this trick is, we obviously have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. These runners making it look easy. So now both runners are manipulating through Sorrow, and it's not a fun area. We got spiky chips everywhere, and but we're good. And Fluffy is, my goodness, he's on a roll. He's actually over a minute ahead of his PB right now, and that's just amazing.
Wow.
Since Grim did get Sad Celis, he's may not. Well, I'm not sure, but it still looks to be ahead of his PB. But I'm not sure what he's going.
Yeah, he's ahead of PB as we can see here, but he of course has to take some backup XP, probably the planned.
Or I believe there is an ability cell up through the. Oh yeah,
he's taking that cell.
it's definitely that's a weird one, but that's what he opts to do, and so Fluffy will take a bit of a lead because of that. Oh no,
Oh,
he's fine, but it's just a rough cell to have to go get. And let's just hope that this won't hurt Grim too much. And
He's
there he
in there
is.
now.
There's the cell. Nice, very nice. And
Only has to get out.
ooh, he's good.
Now spiky spikes, and he's good.
Okay,
But now he can't save, so there's his save. Rekindle, please. Yes.
There we go. So just an unfortunate incident there for Grim getting that sad Celis and having to find a backup. So that will be a little bit of a lead there for Fluffy as he heads into Misty. There is still time for some spaghetti movement, but I definitely don't want to wish that upon Fluffy because he's again on a roll, and I'd actually just love to see a double PB here in a tournament race. How about you?
Oh, I sure love to see that. Yeah, I mean Fluffy, he was 1 minute ahead of PB. He didn't screw up to this point, so that's some really sick pace by him. And I'd love to see him PB, of course.
Definitely. So now Grim is he's fixed his problems. He's at the Sunstone, so he can skip this very long cutscene. And at this point in the race, you definitely want to skip every cutscene possible, so he had to go for that. I'd say in the beginning of a race, if you have a little mess up there and you have to skip, like, I don't know, a 20-second cutscene or maybe 10 seconds. Some cutscenes are really short, but these final two cutscenes you have to skip, man, they're like over a minute, and you definitely don't want that in a PB race.
You sure don't want that. But yeah, this Misty movement again, pretty clean by Fluffy, and it's always so much fun. Again, very deadly, a lot of room for error, but very much fun.
Definitely, and man, Fluffy's still on a roll. I mean, I don't know. Besides Sacelis, we've seen no real bad mess ups. Takes a bit of a death, but again, this tree's right there, so didn't really hurt him too much. Freaking the bailing, man, it's deadly. It used to not be deadly in a casual playthrough, but in a speedrun playthrough, it's basically the most deadly enemy in the game because it does about 6 damage, and we don't, some of us don't even have more than 6 health.
We have no health in this run. I mean, we have to get 5 health at least, but 5 isn't 6, and 6 is also not enough to survive 6 health, and basically no one goes for more than 6 health here. So yeah, they are deadly.
So now we got both some super clean Misty movement from both of our runners, while Fluffy's more in the later half.
Had a safety save close.
Yeah,
I think he's watching his enemy.
Yeah, I believe
If
he is.
Yeah, if he is, he's taking the save because he know he can, and he just has to win this race. Although he should be still on a very good pace.
Yeah, definitely a good pace, and because of the sad Celis, Grim is a little behind his PB, but he's still on an excellent pace. a little scary there, but he's fine. And yeah, Misty, it can be super scary. And there's Fluffy with another safety save.
He's coming up to Meatballs, does the rocket jump here. Very nice.
That's definitely an interesting trick. You don't see many people do that. It's a little scary, but we're good. And now we're on to the quick kill mini boss to see how it goes.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty interesting. It actually does.
I don't know all of the names for all of these tricks, but that looked like one of the tricks.
I think they all have the word bang or boom in them, so I think you're fine with calling them whatever they want to be called.
I'd also like to point out that Grimelios is doing his charge dashes here manually and his rocket jumps and whatever, so having this kind of a clean Misty movement is all the more impressive for someone like Grimelios.
And there you go, he's into the quick kill. Kind of opposite, actually a similar strat to what Fluffy did. Fluffy gets a little cleaner movement, so I hurt Grim a little bit, but not too much. But at this point in the run, we're getting really close to the end. Fluffy has one more ability to pick up before we head to Horu and finish this run out. So Grim's definitely got to hope for a little bit of mess up here for Fluffy if he wants to keep up this fantastic pace and catch up a bit here.
Yeah, Grim is also about 30 seconds behind his PB now, so he's still on a very good pace. I mean, that's the 35 pace. but he will have to get some pretty clean movement to have a chance to catch up to Fluffy here. And if Fluffy has a clean movement as well, he'll have no chance to catch up here.
Yeah, and I mean,
But
just you
my
can't-
god, he's 1 minute ahead of PB at Grenade.
I don't even know who I'm like watching right now. Fluffy's just on a roll of another level. He's going as fast as he can, despite like not really despite a death in Misty or two. I mean, he's still just making quite the work. Oop, Grim has to wait a bit because he took a bit hit on the spikes. A little high five here from the runners. Oh no!
Oh no!
Grim takes a bit of a death, but it's okay. His save is right there. But that's definitely not what he needs if he wants to stay in this race. Oh, opting for the fast cycle.
Gets it.
So now he's gonna skip one last cutscene here, and there you go. He's got it. So he's out to get his last skill, but again, he is going well.
I'd also like to point out our truckers pointed out that the times we see here are of course not their personal best, that's the best race time. So yeah, Fluffy wasn't that much ahead of PB probably, but of his best race time, which is in itself somewhat of a PB, you could say.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean,
Wow, fast cycle break. Oh no, Grim! That was so close.
he was going for that fast laser cycle there, and just didn't work out. It's a bit of a weird one. I think Fluffy opted to just kind of wait on the wall for the laser to go through. And update for Fluffy is still actually pretty close on PB pace, and you gotta give it to him. I mean, just super nice. So now
Oh,
he's at
that
the
door of success rate though. Let's hope for first try here. Get that second try, please.
It's
Get
definitely
that
it's
stats
definitely a weirder trick, frame perfect, and it's definitely not one we've had a big success rate on for first try, but hopefully he gets it on a decent amount of tries. I'd say that's what we're all hoping for here.
There he goes.
He gets it. Very nice.
5th try door warp, so not too bad.
So now Fluffy is onto the final escape, one final section that separates him from a victory here, but Grim is right on his tail. He's heading up to door warp here very shortly, and if he can get a faster door warp, I mean, it'll close the lead, but it'll still require Fluffy to make a mess up here in the final escape. There are some opportunities here to take a death, but so far, I mean, Fluffy's still going pretty strong.
But both of them could still win this race basically, because if Grim gets a pretty clean door warp, yeah, I don't know how close they are to each other, but he might force Fluffy to go for this grenade jump, which has the soft block potential. So, oh boy, makes it through the swim. My god, English is hard.
Yeah, that's right, and
yeah, he's going for the grenade jump.
oh,
Or not.
he's actually opting.
Yeah,
he's opting to just walk through, and I believe what he saw at the window there, I think he was like, yeah, I'm ahead enough to where it won't hurt me too much. I believe you have to be at least about halfway through the escape before it can be considered a locked-in victory here. Grim's still having trouble with door. We're both having a little mess up there with door, but Grim's through.
Yeah, and comparing to Grim's PB, which was a low 35, he will be pretty close to his PB if he manages to get this clean escape here.
That's right. And so yeah, Grim starting the final escape, but Fluffy is at that point of the cutscene to where the grenade jump will take you. So Fluffy is gonna take this one. Congrats, super clean race. I mean, from Fluffy, just didn't really see any mistakes here. And neither much from Grim. Besides that, Celis, he's been on Grim's made a really good pace for himself.
Yeah, I really like that you're pointing this out, Clean, because he will be about 20 seconds behind his PB. So that's almost the time that his sad Celis took him. So had he gotten fast stomped there, he he would have actually PB'd in this race, which is just showing that he was putting on a very good performance here despite losing this race.
Definitely, and he's actually opting to do the grenade jump. Just some finicky placement there. He's just not going to let the pride get to him. He's going for the grenade jump, and
He gets it!
Very nice.
Not giving a damn about the stats, saying he gets it like 20% of the time. Gets it first try here.
No, man, and that was great performance. And I wonder if he actually, I don't know if Grim got the grenade jump in his PB. It looks like Grim will be about 10 seconds behind
10
PB.
seconds, yeah.
So what a run from Grim. He, in a tournament race, he went for it and he did flawlessly. Outside stats LS, very nicely done. So yeah, there you go. His PB was 35-13. He's gonna finish here with, we gotta wait for the confirmation there, but it looks around a 35-21. I think we're getting where it's at 35-20.
35-20. Very nice. That's just showing both of these runners have been showing a good consistency in this race, I'd say.
Yeah, it was, Fluffy obliterated his best race time. I was just like, I don't even know what that Fluffy was, but this is the new Fluffy where he's just getting 34s just like that. So very nice, very nicely done. I'm not sure how far behind his PB Fluffy was, but he was on a roll. And Grim was also on a roll, so he just super clean from both runners. No roll.
Yeah, both of them very close to their PBs. Yeah, that was pretty much all we could have expected from this race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fluffy is going to take the win on this one and move up to face Hello Jiminy. Definitely a hard matchup for Fluffy, but I think he's feeling good. He's going to be feeling good about being up in the higher bracket. Grim's going to head down, but that won't hurt him too bad. He's got, he can still make his way back up and actually possibly have maybe a rematch from Fluffy, depending on how this bracket goes, because that, with the double elimination setup we have, rematches in a tournament are actually really more than likely.
It sure is, and both of them having a little time to practice before that, so we might be in for another pretty cool race there.
That's right. I believe both runners there we're not gonna have an interview, and that's okay. So just want to say, great performance, both Fluffy and Grim, if you are watching, and thanks everyone for joining great race, and thanks Barrett for commentating with me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure commentating with you, Cleanfell. Of course, I'd also like to thank our never memeing restreamer Terra for this great restreaming job he did, and our stats, Poogle and Didu. Thank you very much for correcting us when we were being stupid. And
We're all
apart
right.
from that,
our next matchup here is gonna be Griffs and Greaves. We have the G races. The G races. That's gonna be a fun one coming up, I believe, at 4 o'clock. So come back here in about an hour, and we'll have another fun race coming up.
the G to the G's. This one's gonna be exciting. So definitely tune in an hour.
That's right.
See you then, right?
That's right. See you then.
Goodbye, everyone.
Damage as they head through. So, ooh, nice job. And wow, Yoko. Oh,
No.
my
Oh no,
goodness.
Yoko. Oh my goodness. Please be careful.
He hasn't taken any like really bad deaths as result, but
Oh no.
no! Why did I say that? Why did I say that?
Yeah, true shade. So we're going to see what D2 decides to do. Nice safety save there. And wow, the value from the safety save.
The trick itself requires precisely positioning a frog and managing your XP, but because that can happen, because that froggy has a chair and it can stomp it right on your tiny little head.
Oh god, Milton, get out of there!
Holy crap, the recovery from that.
It's deceptive. Ooh, deceptively difficult. Rufus,
Holy
so close.
crap, Rufus.
Oh,
Oh god.
Fix it.
And what is happening now?
I don't know.
It's
Monthly shot going through.
Oh, jeez, missed the double bash though. He's gonna go back up. Monthly's shots are facing the floor. I hope he does not get that on the upper one. Jeez, he's broken his swamp.
Oh, Monthly getting hit by the shot.
Metal that Terra did. Oh, missing that, but he's got the backup. That's okay. Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
Terra. Oh my gosh. Okay, try again. Just this time you can get to the platform.
What you've seen from runners like Lucidus, Uncle Ronnie, and Eviona so far in the tournament, and oh wow!
Damn.
I do not know how he survived.
Both runners getting that 5th.
Oh, Randomson had a really... Wow, what a nice backup, though. Randomson had trouble with the first spider shot, but now it's basically tied.
Go stomp the rocks. And oh,
Fluffy, what
I
are
didn't know you could do that. Can you really just keep moving and skip that cutscene?
Oh god, Hori's in the air! Hello!
Oh no. Oh, Frankie. Frankie, please go away. Oh, that is so painful.
Oh, this is a party. Luckily, he does have a safety.
Yeah, oh, mini boss not quite going according to plan. Melvin's gonna go with the stomp spam. Keep that frog away. Get out of here. Don't hit me with your chair. He says he gets through it okay, and we'll be just finishing up Misty.
The section is really difficult with the 5 health. Alright, he gets the bash off of the fish. So yeah, he gets through, but upcoming here is...
He's gone pro!
Oh, he died! Death! Richard is in the lead. No, they're tied. Richard just died as well.
What?
This is literally synced in the final escape, guys. Unbelievable.
They both stopped the thing together. Okay.
Each one of those grenades costs 1. He's got 1 left. That's enough for 2 grenade jump attempts. If he keeps missing in that particular way, he's got 1 chance left.
1 more.
And he gets it! The
First
clutch.
try, and well, not first try, but you know what? First try.
We'll call it first try.